Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the semifinals of the Timespinner Randomizer tournament. I am that Llama Girl, also known as Llama. I am also joined by Jim as a commentator.
Hello.
And we are going to have a very exciting match. Planeswater versus weffjebster. The last two of the lower or loser brackets, depending on what terminology you prefer. And then whoever wins here goes on to a grudge match with Crimdall.
Definitely looking forward to this match. weffjebster, a stalwart in the community, been around for a while, helped develop. Planeswater, a relative newcomer with crisp execution. I'm really excited to see how this goes.
Ooh, I like Blood Orb a lot, and it's plus. It's a little annoying for killing the dummy, though.
Blood Orb, a fantastic source of dark damage.
It also homes in, so until they get some sort of double jump, it really helps for those enemies that move around.
And the spell they got was also the blood spell?
Yep, also plus. So they got some real good dark typing, but not much else. Nope, there's Bombardment Plus, never mind. Weff is going to be very happy. That is his favorite spell in the game. It's, I think, probably the highest damage output if you can get close enough.
Wow, everything good is plus today. Colossal Hammer plus for Planeswater.
Very nice.
Planeswater heading left now, and Weff heading right. So Planeswater's going to get one extra check here, and probably boop the warp point in order to be able to warp once he gets his Pyramid Keys.
The hope is that Pyramid's Keys will be to the right, so that this booping the warp point is not wasted time.
And an Empire Crown for his troubles.
Empire Crown's pretty good. Ooh, a gear, apparently.
All right.
In the Batcave.
So we're going to get our progression early, hopefully.
Always beware early benevolence in Randomizer.
Yeah, it never pans out, does it?
No. We're getting a whole bunch of plus orbs, we got a gear, we got a fire source. I'm a little scared.
Sash and Gyre is what I'm hearing.
Sash and Regret Chest is
the
absolute worst. It's called Regret Chest for a reason. Weff checking out the upper caves of Banishment. You get a free warp at the end, which is, depending on how you plan on routing, either good or bad to use the free warp at the end.
My expectation is Weff hit the save point on the way in, so if he doesn't find anything he likes, he'll just save and quit, save himself a little bit of time running out.
You got a lab glasses, though. That's some good damage. So, we'll see what this last chest is.
Planeswater also following in the same footsteps, a little bit behind because Planeswater went left at the beginning, and we'll see if he makes up that time.
And using the free warp on left side, heading back to the right and into the castle, I assume.
It looks like they also got a fire source while we were talking about this, so that'll be helpful once they eventually make it to the top of Serene.
Yeah, the fire source was, I think, in the secret area near the bats. At the top of the scaffolding. Yeah, Planeswater does not necessarily need those lab glasses because he got that Eternal Crown earlier. And so that way he is doing the save scumming back out.
And this looks like it may have saved a couple of seconds over taking the warp.
Just a few. And the warp is still there. So when Planeswater comes back around and maybe has the water mask, can use that warp. Still pretty evenly matched in their progression. We got the drawbridge being pulled up to check underneath. And there's a light wall.
Very nice. So they'll probably be heading in mostly the same direction at this point. Light wall is going to be their first infinite vertical, which they may or may not decide to use to head on up the towers or to fight the Golden Idol.
I believe they would. Once you're this far into the castle, once you get a little further in, you might as well clear it out, and you can.
think it's going to depend on whether anything else presents itself. If they find keys, if they find the water mask, maybe that'll change their routing decisions.
Yeah, if they get the Twin Pyramid keys, they probably will take the warp at Alana's, on the way to Alana's area, but only if they get something else that's a little more tantalizing.
Planeswater checking Bombardier. I'm not sure if Weff checked this.
I believe it is technically not in Logic right now.
Oh, really? With just Lightwall?
I don't remember the edge cases on this, because it's a little difficult to get up there with just Lightwall.
Interesting. Well, nothing progression relevant, so...
Weff will eventually figure that out. Felon's Bangle early, though. Weff picked up in the ramparts. But it was in an area that's going to be right on Planeswater's route as well, so we're not going to get a huge difference in their levels.
I think Planeswater taking the couple of seconds to stop and kill some of these enemies on the way in. I guess looking for that experience advantage.
But there's that Bangle. Flame's not equipping it.
There it is.
Okay, there you go. They heard my judgment from beyond the. They heard my judgment from beyond the void and equipped it.
Being a blue orb plus, not particularly exceptional, but it is a decent source of blunt damage if you've run out of mana for your Colossal Hammer. And now we're into the basement loop.
Batty has a good point. It seems that Planeswater was waiting for the document dialogue to fade so that they don't immediately go to that menu instead of the normal start menu.
Sensible. Kind of thing that trips me up a little more often than I'd like it to.
You press start and suddenly you're in the wrong menu. Where am I?
So now we're seeing a Blade Orb plus, everything plus here. Was Lightwall, I think Lightwall was minus, right? So if we eventually see a Radiant...
Ooh! Water Mask. Normal ice.
So this is the kind of thing that could potentially change routing decisions. Now they have access to the water checks. They could go check Waterfall. They could go check the entirety of the Caves of Banishment, the Upper Caves of Banishment. They could head over to Lake Serene. But I think you have the right of it. It seems that it's going to be a little bit more out of the way, and without the Twin Pyramid keys, they're not really rewarded for backtracking.
I think the hope now is just you find Twin Pyramid keys over here, because if you double back and they are here, you're really going to be doing a lot of backtracking. Ooh, Empire Crown. That's a really good headgear. Not that they're going to be wanting for damage. We got a lot of plus orbs and Sellen's Bangle, so I don't think there's going to be any bosses that are a problem here.
And Weff showing off exactly what Batty was talking about, the brief lore interlude that comes into the menu.
Elevator keycard, interesting. Could be bait. We don't know. But that
Weff waiting
opens
the
up,
extra second. Yep.
That opens up a bit of the Varn de Groth Towers. Hopefully you'll find some keycards in order to clear it out entirely before you are forced to go in there. We got Volturillus, who is only weak to Aura, I believe.
That checks out.
And a little bit cheaty. I'm gonna switch over. His lightning attack is a little hard to avoid, but you can cheese his hammer by being very brave and standing in the center. Because he just whiffs.
Both of them now in the Volturillus fight. This is going to be a bit of a slog. Golden Idol, a high HP location for how early it is, and not super high damage from either of our players yet.
Ooh,
Planeswater making really good use of that bombardment, though, getting a lot of damage.
I think Weff may have forgotten that he has bombardment, which is weird for him.
Yeah, we saw him using the Dark Spell a little bit, and not much else.
Yeah, maybe he thought Volturillus was weak to Dark because Alana is. He never equipped the shotgun. Oh no!
Wonder if it slipped his notice.
That's weird. You'd think he would freak out about it. It's his favorite spell! We'll have to ask him later. into the
with
into
that
the Royal Towers.
sorry, with that bit of execution, now we have Planeswater and weffjebster almost neck and neck, practically in the same screen here.
I'm gonna check the enemies to make sure I am correct. Nuvius. Yep, it's just Plasma and Aura. Strong to Plasma, weak to Aura. Run out of Aura, so have to use an item on weffjebster's side to...
One interesting thing I've noticed about the way Weff uses Lightwall specifically is Weff is a fan of dropping the Lightwall as he's standing, getting him very, very crisp timings on the Lightwall, just immediately landing, dropping another Lightwall, whereas Plains is kind of jumping a little bit in order to get extra height, meaning less Lightwall uses, less casts, but maybe not quite as quick in terms of the raw ascension time.
It's also, sometimes you can run into problems where you jump a little too high and transition screens, and then don't grab the ledge, and then fall all the way back down. Looks like
something I'm sure both of our runners is pretty practiced with.
Looks like Planeswater's stream is maybe having some difficulties. So we'll stick with Weff for now. Oh, there they are. Okay.
Still in it. All right. Weff. Oh, I guess Weff had to double back in order to get the not quite struggle juggle check.
The mini struggle. They did find the D key card over there, which may or may not be required depending on where their present warp is. Gonna switch over to Planeswater, see if their stream stays on, because they are at the top of the tower here and heading into Alana's spot, and we'll see who we have.
Oof.
Oh, at least they have Lightwall, I guess?
Early Ravenlord with only the worst vertical.
Well, at least they do have Lightwall.
Bombardment definitely doing some work though.
Nice, but man, rough.
What a struggle without even double jump.
Yeah, Weff may nope out of this, but I don't think he will, and he is currently in timeout because he cannot use Lightwall because he ran out of Aura. Lana's tower is just really annoying to climb with just single jump.
Weff definitely tagging the save here. Planeswater through there, Alana fight.
Twin Pyramid Keys.
What a spot for it too, right at the top of the tower.
Yeah, that was really cool. I didn't comment on it, but there was a light wall Planeswater had put up, and it actually stopped him from being thrown by Ravenlord. Ravenlord pick you up and throw you at certain points, and he just got slammed into the light wall instead.
You need technique if you can pull it off.
I don't think it was intentional, to be honest.
Sure. Weff using swords here makes sense. Ravenlord also weak to sharp.
It is a little bit difficult to get to him, but if you get to him, then you can slash him with some good swords. Oh gosh. Oh no. Well, Planeswater might hope that Struggle Juggle top is nothing.
Did you run out of aura?
Yes.
Opting not to wait around and still check it. You gotta keep moving, I guess.
The keys were just after Alana, who is replaced by Ravenlord, and they only have single jump and light wall. So that's what Weff is currently struggling with.
Weff getting repeatedly shoved into the corner. What a distressing fight.
Oh god, this is so... Oof. Man, Ravenlord's rough.
Planeswater making his way to the warp room. We're probably going to see our first glimpse of the presence now.
Interesting.
Sealed.
They already have the elevator key card, so it's not too bad that they have this warp point. They also have water masks, so they could clear out to the left if they wanted.
Looking like Planeswater is going to take those key cards though and head up to the top. Probably going to look through most of the towers, I imagine. One of the routing decisions that I find interesting is once you have your present access, how deep do you go into the present versus staying in the past and heading towards the other bosses? Given that they have Water Mask, both of the runners have the Water Mask available, they could start making their way towards Maw. Planeswater here deciding to route in a couple of extra checks here in the present to see if maybe there's something good there.
It might be that most people tend to avoid Varndagroth Tower until they have everything, so maybe they're hoping to play a little bit of a mind game here. Weff is out of aura at the top of Struggle Juggle as well, and does not have anything to refresh the aura, debating on whether he wants to wait there for it to replenish, and decides
Sounds like
no.
the answer is no.
Sounds like nope as well. So we still do not know what's at the top of Struggle Juggle.
Planeswater finding nothing of particular interest so far.
Oh, and getting a little frozen. We'll switch over to Weff. See where he is going. With the Water Mask and Pyramid Keys, the world is his oyster.
Definitely a lot of options here.
Going to warp at least once.
Oh, Weff didn't buy warp shards.
Yep.
Planeswater's still in it.
I think he does have a few he picked up from some other places.
I'm willing to believe that.
Sorry, my cat is commentating as well.
Empire minus on Planeswater's side, but nothing plot relevant. I take it back. There is a Timespinner here in the towers.
Well
so
then.
Planeswater definitely paid off for making this routing choice.
Yeah, provided Weff does not make the same decision.
Right. Weff also staying in the present, notably going the other direction, though. Weff has decided to check out the top of Sealed Caves, putting that Water Mask to good use.
Like I mentioned, you could clear out this area. Plane's going to the library for a bunch of free checks.
I wonder if he's looking for
yet.
anything specific here, or if he's just going to where the checks are dense before heading towards them all.
Well, I think they're always looking for Sash, to be honest. Nothing good for selling. Going to just buy a bunch of warp shards and leave. Ooh, got the Merchant Crow familiar. Underwater. Interesting.
Potentially dangerous item that opens up an optional boss fight in the lab.
They're not there yet, though, so not too scary. Yet. Still checking out the library on Planeswater side. And Weff getting the freebie check in the tower. We'll see if he goes further up. Gonna boop the warp over. Okay, wheel in library.
Oh my. So, lots of stuff then in the past in places that you might not necessarily have to go to. Starting from the Sealed Caves, you don't have to go through the library in order to get to the lab. So it's a little bit out of the way.
Yeah, you can go and take out the Maw, even though it's technically out of logic right now. And I know Weff always says lab is money, so Weff might skip going to the lab for a bit. It is a lot of free checks, though. If he picks up the tablet, I bet he'll go there straight.
Weff now deciding to head in that direction. You can see he's doing a bit of backtracking here, going from the start point over to the left. So Planeswater will have a very slight time save once Planeswater decides to go into the left of the past.
Weff did not buy more warp shards, but I think he still has a few picked up from enemies.
Planeswater deciding to be more completionistic here. Instead of heading over towards the Maw, Planeswater is checking Bat Ledge, Planeswater is checking Waterfall, all of those underwater checks.
Soul Scanner, very important on Bat Ledge. Now we know what the enemies are.
Bat Ledge is always money. I feel like Bat Ledge is the Waterfall of this tournament.
It used to be Waterfall was the Waterfall of this tournament.
Oh, those were some days.
Got a fire source, so you can really clear out Lake Serene here, even if you don't go all the way to the Maw. You got Water Mask and a fire source and light wall, so you can clear out both top and bottom here. Oh gosh! A key card.
Key card A.
Oof. Oh, and Cantor spot is Nightmare. Not the worst. Got some good telegraphing on there, and they have some good damage. So, and he's dead.
Bombardment doing work. Lightwall minus even doing work.
Mm-hmm.
And now having done completely separate things in the past, but spent fairly close to the same amount of time there, both are heading towards the Maw, taking the checks in the upper area of Lake Serene, and making their way forward. Burning the vines, which is important. I think you mentioned.
Mm-hmm. B key card, so if Weff gets tablet, he is absolutely going to the library.
Both of them now have the A key card, so both of them ready to make routing mistakes.
Hoping that they don't need it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Nightmare dropped some jerky. I'm sure it's fine to eat.
Well, you know it's finely aged.
Ugh. No expiration date.
So Weff nearing the only decision point here. He's going to go to the warp on the way towards the bottom of the Caves of Banishment.
But then double
just
back.
checking in.
Yep, because he's got the pyramid key, so he can double back and warp there when he's done.
So we should see him burning the remaining vines and going to check the Azure Queen spot, most likely.
Yep. If you have all needed for the Lake Serene area, seems the route plan is to burn on the right and check out a few of the chests, and then double back and go back underwater, and then loop back around to do the other side of Upper Lake Serene here. Looks like he's leaving the, no, there's no chest there. I was thinking of present. Sorry. And
Planeswater is actually opting not to check the upper area, so he's not going to see what's behind Azure Queen. He's not going to see the extra vines either.
Mm-hmm. But since there's a warp, it's really, you can easily double back to check that area.
Absolutely.
We had Genza at Azure Queen.
Nothing immediately relevant for Weff in this area, but we don't know what's going to be behind the vines in the present, so may end up being worthwhile.
Mm-hmm. What'll be interesting is if... Oh, there's the tablet! If they go and check the fire checks before killing off the Maw, if they do not get gas masks down here. Because it is allowed for the tournament to kill off the Maw before getting the gas mask, even though it's out of logic. It just means that they have to have Luneus hold her breath and run.
And have several potions handy, just in case.
Luneus is unsure how this works, chugging a potion and holding her breath and suffocating. But it works.
Don't knock it till you've tried it, I guess?
I don't want to try it! Oh god, no. No, thank you. I don't have reincarnation powers, so... no.
Both of them heading through the caves now. We've got security keycard B
Required.
in the jackpot room. So that's going to be important for our runners to make it to the lab once they've cleared out all the bosses in the past.
Yep. They don't need it to get to the tower because we got a freebie by having our warp to the present in that underwater area. It bypassed B for a little bit. But they still need it. Wind Orb minus, I'm sorry, Winfei.
Only one more check on the way in order to get the gas mask, and then our runners may have some decisions to make.
We're pretty competent runners here, so it may be... Nope! Plane's gonna go check some upper area. They are
This, I think, is
though.
a good idea. Going to check the upper parts of Lake Serene, opening up the vine checks, and then maybe taking those checks in the present before knocking out whoever is at Ma's spot in order to make sure that there's nothing important gated by the gas mask should you not end up getting it.
The only downside is that there are those 2 extra checks that appear after killing the Maw, so you would have to go back there, even if you don't end up finding the gas mask along the way.
We need to name that run specifically, like the Run of Shame or something.
It's the crash site, so maybe something about that. Crash and burn.
I'll bet Lunaeus's lungs are burning when she takes that route.
Yeah. Science ring.
Weff checking that plasma crystal, finding nothing of any relevance.
It is in logic, though.
That's very important.
Is gonna take a peek. We've already seen Ravenlord, so as long as it's not one of the dad variants, it should be okay. Oh,
Azure Queen.
Yeah. Basically, dad variants or Genza, those are the ones you really don't want in Mosspot if you're going to go out of logic, because they go invincible for quite a while as you stand there suffocating.
So, Weff taking the bet that Upper Lake Serene or Upper Desolation is not going to have anything relevant. Because that's going to be a pain to go through.
By the time he needs to go there, he's going to have enough healing items to make it all the way through. Ooh, interesting. Use the elevator to smash open the elevator area, and then use the warp shard to immediately reset the elevator down below.
The Weff now going through the Bat Ledge and Upper Caves of Banishment area as part of the overall big loop, heading across the top, coming down through the Caves of Maw, and then coming up through the Caves of Banishment. Leaving the rest of the chicks on the floor, apparently.
I told you, he knows lab is money, so he's going to lab. Planeswater is going to go check the tablet stuff in the library from... Oh, there's a gear! From the looks of it, but I can't tell what's going on.
So we now know the location of all 3 gears and the wheel.
We just need the spindle. And hopefully something a little better to climb with, but...
Planeswater in his Maw fight now.
Oh, the gas mask was in a download. Thank God for trackers. So that's why
Planeswater... That explains him immediately coming back, yeah.
Yep.
So we should see Planeswater following Weff fairly closely at this point. Planeswater heading to the top of the elevator shaft in order to get the chest first, though.
Slow climb to get the chest. There is some strats in using the elevator to smash it open, then visiting a warp point to reset it, and then just sort of falling down the shaft to get that chest. It's really only good if you haven't done the upper area already. So Planeswater could have done that routing if they wanted to.
So, military hangar now open for Planeswater. Planeswater deciding to check some more of the underwater checks that he missed earlier on.
Grimtal has a good point. If we find Spindle in a way along to the end game here for Weff, then Planeswater is going to find it, and this is not looking good for Weff.
Yep, we already know that Planeswater's last gear is going to be an easy check on the way, not something that they're likely to skip. Single jump light wall lab, also a good point by Vatty. This is
oof.
A very, very fun way to travel. Fun for me, anyway. Maybe not fun for our runners.
I've made a joke before about Ilana's OSHA non-compliant tower, but really it's Genza who should be in trouble here, because he has a whole lab where we know other people are working, and yet, look at this. This is just unacceptable.
A lot of work to get Not that far. And popping more consumables in order to make the aura necessary to get their light walls all the rest of the way up.
Good old Ice Orb. Will Weff go into Spider Hell? Probably.
Planeswater, they're laying their lab checks even further now, heading towards the upper Desolation, upper Caves of Banishment. I can never remember which.
Sealed Caves.
Sealed Caves. Sealed Caves.
Sealed in the present because if you remember, they sealed away Zarian.
Right.
You know, lore. We already know there's nothing over here, but it is good to check because they're right there. We got Water Mask.
Weff finding nothing particularly relevant in Spider Hell?
Unfortunate, because it is a huge time sink.
But the Blood Orb making a comeback and doing some great work helping him out there.
Technically, the Gyre was in Logic for Planeswater when they came here, but decided not to on the way. Planeswater gonna check double Bombardiers or continue on?
There's that sand bottle.
Okay, running out of time.
Climb, though.
Okay. There we go. Ooh, Kobo.
I'm not even sure if this is in Logic right now with just Lightwall.
Lightwall and Time Stop, I think.
Ah.
Well, and Double Jump. Planeswater
now Double Jump.
Double Jump somewhere.
That's probably going to speed him up over Weff.
Yes.
Taking Double Jump into the lab is going to be a lot more convenient. Maybe that's why Planeswater was holding off on heading to the right, looking for extra vertical.
Yep.
What a horrible place for a hairpin, though.
Yeah. It is going... Oh, there's the Spindle. Oh, this is bad for Weff. He's found the Spindle in a spot that most people remember to check.
So, important progression on the way, when it's the last piece of progression that Planeswater needs, is a bad sign for Weff, as you said.
Because I believe... So the wheel... Where was the wheel? I know one of the gears is in...
The wheel was in the library.
Okay, and the other gear is in Varndegroth Tower.
Yep, the left side of Varndegroth.
So I don't think that's going to happen.
Nope. And Weff making their case even worse by checking out what's in Ravenlord.
It's a fair call if you're
Absolutely.
At this point.
It's a completely reasonable call. They can't know where things are, so...
But at this point,
is available.
As soon as Planeswater checks the memories up there, they're gonna know they don't have to check anything else in lab. They're just gonna go.
There's that Spindle.
Yep,
Planeswater's in go mode. Yep. Immediately turns around.
Nope, not even going to check those. Weff making good use of Nether Orbs, Portal Creation when Aelana does her Desperation attack. Some really nice double jump, light wall movement on Planeswater side. It's very beautiful when they do that double jump and cast the light wall as you're doing your second double jump. It's real nice.
I think there's a good point being made in chat. Planeswater probably feels like they're behind at this point.
Probably.
Important progression on the way. It's the last piece of progression they need, and it's just right there. They didn't have to go out of the way to find it. So they don't know that Weff doesn't have the wheel in the third gear.
They might think about the gear, because they did do a little dip into Varndegroth Tower for that, and not everyone goes to Varndegroth Tower early. But they do have most keycards by this point, so they could think that Weff had gone to Varndegroth Tower at some point.
Absolutely.
Who do we got?
And behind or ahead, their decisions at this point are always going to be the same. You rush straight for the goal.
We got Planeswater going after the Maw in Genza's spot. Let's switch over. Ironically, both of them after this boss at the same time. Varndegroth or Golden Idol? Probably Golden Idol, yeah. We got a big old hammer for him. And Bombardment Plus. Ooh, all that damage!
That's beautiful. You love to see it.
I'm dead. Wow.
Plains making short work of the Golden Idol, breaking time and into the pyramid. And Weff now, having defeated their Genza fight.
Going into the tower, so they'll get that gear.
All right. Making some good initial decisions. And they have the tablet. Weff has the tablet, so
he'll probably go library
check
next.
is likely soon.
But he does have a key card here and is going to have to go through mini spider hell and some less fun bits.
And I'm expecting Weff to check everything on the way. There's probably not a lot of percentage in gambling on missing a chest here or there.
No. And most of the checks here are not that out of the way of each other. It's a very check-dense area. Getting bodied by conviction here. Batty counted out how much damage Planeswater was doing to Golden Idol. If all 8 hit, it was 936.
Almost 4 digits.
We'll see if Planeswater gets Lightwall Skip.
With the Lightwall execution they've shown so far. Oh no!
He tried to play it a little safe. Oh, that hurts.
Well, it's time for the climb.
They probably feel really behind now.
Whether or not they feel behind, they probably feel bad. I'm sure this is the kind of thing that they've practiced before, and to miss it in this kind of situation.
The climb of shame.
It's not going to affect how far ahead they are, though.
No.
Like, they're still light years ahead of poor Weff, hunting for the last 2 pieces. Light walls ahead.
I hate myself. Okay.
But, you know, another mistake like that, another 3 mistakes like that, and Weff could still be in the race.
Planeswater could not realize that the save at the bottom of the pit has been restored. It used to be disabled because you would get stuck down there. And we re-enabled it with the teleport, but that might not be on Planeswater's mind.
The first of our 2 end bosses?
going to get smashed by a bombardment.
You love to see bosses weak against it.
With a big ol' fat area that you can hit. Wait, am I wrong? I thought it was restored.
I think it is restored. I think you're right.
And then we have Emperor from the Present.
It wasn't doing as much damage as I thought it was. What's the... People are talking about a glitch with bombardment.
I'm not sure. Really bad. Weff is in the library and should be finding the wheel soon, but took a moment to say GG to Planeswater. Official time of 37:34. Exclamation points in chat, please. I hope Weff does not forfeit because he will find the wheel very soon if he keeps going. I'm going to click done here for Planeswater. Weff is going to find that wheel pretty soon and be on his way to end game. Planeswater!
Oh.
GG.
GG.
We were wondering if you felt like you were behind when you got to lab.
Yeah, I felt as soon as I got the... What was my last part? The spindle from the lab. I felt like I was definitely behind. I don't...
Yeah, Weff had not gotten the wheel or the gear. So the wheel was in the library and the gear that was in Varndegroth Tower. So he did not hit go mode when he found that spindle. So he had to check all of the area, including Ravenlord spot.
Yeah.
And so
as soon as I got the elevator keycard, after the elevator keycard, I figured, like, you know, there's 2 ways of going left. I can either warp back and take the elevator again, or I can take the towers. And, you know, I figured to do those checks early, and when I found that on the left side, I was like, well, maybe that's big because like maybe Wes like decides not to ever do Varney Towers.
Mm-hmm. It's unusual.
It's on the left side, so like I wasn't as like excited about it. Like,
So. We've commented in the Racetime GG room of if Sash or Hairpin is at Struggle Juggle, I'm gonna lose it.
Oh, I lost it.
Yeah, he did not find Hairpin either. So that hurt.
Yeah, I missed that Struggle Juggle as well. I was like, all right, if it's there, that's my last location.
Yeah, both of you missed that because you got up there, got a few light walls off, and then got hit. And you're like, no. No.
Okay, oh, and after I missed the light wall skip, so like, you know, full disclosure, I've never practiced like the light wall skip where you like, you know, just continue dashing, place the light wall, and then jump. Mm-hmm. I've always just like dropped down, placed it, and then jumped on it. Mm-hmm. When I missed that, I like had a mini heart attack. I wasn't sure.
Since Wef is in go mode, could you open the spoiler log if you have a minute? I'm curious where Sash is.
Oh, I've never checked the spoiler log. Is that in the Timespinner directory?
No, you go to the... Well, it will be there, but you have to go to the save files and then press one of the shoulder buttons.
L2 or R2, it'll say when you press it.
To create a
I've literally never
log.
checked the spoiler log.
So if you go to one of the saves, it will be one of the shoulder buttons or triggers, and then it will generate a spoiler log in that file area. If it's not too much trouble, I am just curious. What is web check?
Oh yeah, okay. There we go. So we are looking for the Sash.
He doesn't have double jump, so he doesn't want to do.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to do that.
Isolation, crash site 1.
He's hoping.
Crash site 1. Okay.
So that is in the checks that appear after you kill the Maw. So no one was going to go do that. So not necessarily a impossible spot, but since both of you did Maw out of logic, very unlikely that either of you would find it.
Oh, no, I did Maw in logic.
Oh, right, you got Gas Mask.
Yeah.
Your stream cut out for a bit here and there, and so it was a little hard to see.
I heard OBS. I can't,
No. We got most of it, and there was a few times where I could see kind of where you were. It's like, oh, Planeswater's in the library. They're probably checking downloads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gas Mask was in one of the downloads, and yeah.
It happened during one of the freezes. Wef is so close to the top. Oh god, please have more. Filigree tea!
The last second tea.
Oh god!
Yeah, I used my last aura recovery as well with that filigree tea. Wherever it was, saved us, both of us. Oh, to be fair, I could have, like quit. Like after I fell down, I like considered quitting and like going back to the initial pyramid save and not missing the the skip. But at that point, I figured that like if I could make it, it would be faster. So.
Yeah, you had double jump, so it really is not too bad.
That's tricky. Yeah, the Bombardiers in the President it's a tricky place to do without the succubus hairpin that was stuck up there.
Yep. But Light Wall and Time Stop is in logic. Oh god, please, Wef, don't die. Wef finally realizes that he has Bombardment Plus.
I was using that constantly all game.
I am
surprised. It carries you through a lot of boss fights.
It's Bombardment Plus, it's Wef's favorite spell, and we were kind of shocked he did not equip it more. Almost done, defeating Emperor Nuvius.
I love that time stop in order to charge up the spell before Nuvius leaves.
It's good strats, because it's like, get back here and fight like an emperor.
Weff now finished with a race time of 44:22.
Exclamation points in chat, please. We'll get Weff in here to talk about the race.
Hello.
GG.
Hey,
Would
Wes, GG.
literally anything I did pay off? That would be just absolutely great.
Yeah, so
Anywhere I went had anything.
So Planeswater did a dip into Varndegroff Tower early, so they had that extra gear, and also did downloads earlier than you, so had the wheel, and so was in go mode when they found the spindle.
Yeah, I didn't go to the left of our teleport until after I had already cleared the lab.
Mm-hmm. Which is fair, because labs always money, and there was money there.
Where was? Did you have the hairpin or the sash?
Yeah, I found the hairpin. It was in Present Bombardiers.
The big one?
Hangar Bombardiers.
Oh, okay. So you had the wheel and I didn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that would
at that
be
point
why
he
you
had the
got
wheel.
that and I didn't.
Mm-hmm. And
'Cause
Sash,
yeah.
we looked at the spoiler log, was one of the crash site chests.
Yeah.
No one was going to
Right.
get that.
I'm a little disappointed in the outcome, but whatever. It's a call. Going left versus going right, you know?
It's just
I'll say
your
both of
calls
you
work or
made-
not.
Sorry, I talked over you. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say, either your call works or it doesn't. Like,
Yeah.
that's how
I had a
rando
really good
goes.
Ravenlord fight, though. That was a really good Ravenlord fight for only having a single jump.
Yes.
I like
There were some
really good
moments that
Ravenlord
were a
fight.
little clutch on both of your sides, and it was just, oh gosh.
I felt real good about that Ravenlord fight.
I had an okay fight, which I thought was, as much as you can hope for.
Yep, Blade Orb and Scythe Ring and just go for it.
So, Wep, did you not equip Bombardment Plus because you forgot about it?
No, I
Okay.
like Colossal Hammer Plus more than Bombardment Plus.
Really?
In most cases, yeah. Like, because, I mean, mushrooms, lots of stuff you don't want to actually get close to. It's a better room clearer. If for bosses, sure, but we never ran into Golden Idol. Like I finally got a chance to use Bombardment right at the end with Zarian and Nuvius, which are both really good to use Bombardment against. But those were the last two bosses in the game, so there was no reason for me to really use Bombardment for most of the seed.
That's
Yeah,
fair. I was just a little shocked because it's your favorite.
Yeah,
It is my favorite, but I
You don't
played
play
to the
favorites.
seed and not to my tastes.
Yeah, I equipped,
You don't play favorites here.
Hammer. I equipped Hammer right at the very beginning, mostly to get rid of the moths on the bridge,
Oh yeah,
and then like soon after I equipped Bombardment over it and just kept that.
yeah. I just had good options for everything that I
Yeah,
didn't
those
feel
were
like
options.
menuing and going into Bombardment. The Hammer did really well for me, so I don't really. I felt like it was a better choice for the seed we were given, because I was, again, waiting for a reason to go into my menu and equip it and didn't get it until Zarian.
That's fair. That's fair.
I also thought it was funny that when I got the Empress robe in the lab, that was the first armor I equipped.
Wait, where was the princess dress that I got? Was that
Also in the
Batledge?
lab.
Maybe it was an
No.
enemy drop.
No, it was in a chest. Was it? I think it might have been Batledge. Did you go to Batledge?
Wait, I did Batledge. It was like the soul scanner.
Oh yeah, that's
like,
right. I don't know. I had a princess. I found a princess dress
check,
somewhere.
meme item. Yeah.
I found a princess dress somewhere. I don't know. And then that was my armor for the rest of it. I was cruising on lab glasses for a little while there. That was fun.
Yep. Lab glasses are nothing to sneeze at, to be honest. It's a good damage buff.
Yeah, I mean, and then the next thing we got, I think, was the Empire Crown. So it was like, oh well, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I don't know. It was kind of a bad seed for me, but it was not the seed. It was just everything I did was wrong. So
You actually, I wanted to call out, both of you made wildly different routing decisions whenever an optional choice was brought up, like going left versus going right. There's now, the entire seat is open, where do you go? And pretty much all of Plains' choices paid off, and very few of yours did, Wef, and that is not a detriment to you as a runner. Like, you did an excellent
I never
job
even
with what
went
you
and bought
had.
warp shards.
Oh.
I never even went and bought warp shards. I kept picking them up. So I was like, well,
Yeah.
I guess I don't have to. If I had, the thing is, that was bad for me because it stopped me from going to the library.
Yes. When we saw that there was the tablet and the V card, we thought maybe you would go to the library, but the lab was just too tempting.
I mean, go into the lab and then just whatever, you get to the end of the lab and you warp back and go to the library. Go do the thing that is required, and ended up having 2 pieces of the Timespinner on the way.
Yeah.
So it was like,
It was money.
Yeah, I didn't want to go to the lab. I was telling myself, like, you know, if I find hairpin or sash somewhere else, you know, that could be big. That could help me. So I did a few other checks. Like the upper sealed caves.
Yeah, I did that too. I did that as soon as we got to a teleporter. So I just went and did that. It had nothing. So yeah, I went, I did that, and then went back, did the Maw, then went back to the present, did Hangar and Lab, and then went to the library, and that was the end.
Indeed.
Like I said, I felt like I made really good mathematical choices. I mean, at most, like the 50-50 of going right versus going left after you beat them all.
A seed runtime of 44 minutes is real good.
Yeah, 44 minutes, especially when I started kind of, I can't cuss.
Yeah,
started
Lightwall
messing around. At the end
Lightwall
after.
needs to add a bunch of time to that, like the Lightwall checks.
Right.
Oh yeah, no, like the fact that I didn't have hairpin for the entire lab sucked a lot.
That's another Grimdalls mentions single jump Lightwall Lab is big nope for them.
It takes forever, but again, I found 2 pieces of the Timespinner, and I had tablet.
It's a good choice. It's a good choice.
Like, there's 2 vertical options available to me. Why can't one of them be in the hangar or the lab? Like, I don't know. I feel like I made.
One of them was in the
good choices.
hangar.
Well, you're right. It was in the hangar. I just needed the wheel to get it.
Yeah. It was just really hidden.
Yeah. Did we check to see if there was anything spoiler loggable in the struggle juggle? Because I was just straight up out of aura, and I was like, oh, all right, well, I'm leaving.
Oh, I
Neither of you checked it.
Yeah,
I know. He said that he didn't check it, but I was just wondering if it had anything cool.
If Planeswater, if you want to open the spoiler log again, you could search for Struggle Juggle. I believe it is called Struggle Juggle in there.
Yeah, it's called Struggle Juggle. I don't know. I was feeling really good. I was like, I got to find like an economizer or a shadow seal or literally anything at all. And nothing came up. It was just nothing.
Top Tower Struggle Max Sand.
That would have been
All right,
annoying.
then.
Yeah, considering I didn't have the wheel until the very end, really didn't affect me.
Yep.
Anyway, GG Planeswater.
GG's. Planeswater burning through the lower division, and now they have their grudge match against Crimdall coming up. The finale. Got anything to say about what you're expecting?
Well, aside from a hard match, hopefully making the right call seeds. I mean, I guess just the fact that, well, I hadn't really played too many inverted seeds until the tournament started. So I would say that, like, I've gotten a lot better at, like, inverted seeds and, like, inverted logic since the start of the tournament. So, hoping to play better this time.
Play better when they won.
No, we'll play then when I lost against Crimdall.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah,
Crimdall,
it's the grudge match. And you'll have to do it twice if you do win.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. You'll have to defeat Crimdall twice. And best of luck to you and Crimdall both. It should be an amazing match no matter what happens. Looking forward to it. If there's any further words that either of our runners would like to say?
Yeah, best of luck, Planeswater and Crimdall. It's going to be awesome. Please schedule it when I can do commentary.
Yes, please.
I would love to do commentary for that. Yeah, I did better than last year. I didn't completely embarrass myself. I just got some bad luck choices, so I don't really no bad feelings about this run through the tournament. I don't hate it. So, not bad.
I can't tell what the command is for runners, but
Should be like !R.
I tried that.
Tried it.
Yeah, sometimes bots just don't work,
Sometimes bots gonna be bots and not bots. Anyway, that is thank you SpeedGaming Live for hosting the tournament, even though the bots are not working. I'm really thanking the community for just being a great and wonderful little community. It's been really fun going through this tournament and commentating. It's just been really nice. And thank you, Jim, for joining me on commentating.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And I believe that's it. We will say goodbye until the next one.
Yeah, thanks so much, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.